let's talk about how Ford's boss has claimed owners shouldn't attempt to work on their new modern Fords because it may pose a risk to life. Before I play the clip for you, bear one thing in mind here, right? Think about the original ethos, the original philosophy behind Ford, from Henry Ford himself. The idea that the cars were built in such a way that no special skill would be required for the repair or replacement. Now, of course, things have moved on. We're no longer running around in Model T Fords. But this idea of how far the ethos, the philosophy, the way in which the company works is so evident in this clip. From a founder who wanted things to be easy, parts to be on the shelf, things to be repairable, to this. Take a look.
We're really a big advocate for the ability to repair a vehicle, but it has to be done at a reasonable cost.
But you don't want people repairing their own vehicles?
No, that's fine. Not for warranty work, though. These are very complicated cars, and we don't think that's safe for many of the repairs on our vehicles. Someone at home like myself could never do it. I mean, I have no problem working on a 73 Bronco. But to work on a brand new Bronco, I need all sorts of specialty tools. That's something that we would put people's lives at risk.
So let's just get that straight, Jim. Working on your own car is fine, but not for warranty work. That would almost certainly mean imminent death. My take on this is he's trying to use the most defensible corner of the argument, warranty work, in an attempt to make a broader anti-DIY point sound somewhat reasonable. Thing is, the car doesn't suddenly become less complex or require any fewer specialist tools the moment the warranty expires. It just means at that point, Ford can essentially go wash their hands of the liability. It becomes your problem. So do what you want. It's unlikely you're going to be able to repair the thing anyway, thanks to all the complexity and roadblocks built into your path. The thing that really pisses me off about this, though, is for years manufacturers have argued that they're in favour of right to repair, that they're in favour of independent garages and individuals being able to work on their own cars, despite fitting systems that result in bulbs costing £500 to replace or a £6,000 computer and subscription being required to swap a set of brake pads. Okay, not Ford, but the point still stands. What makes his comments so significant here is they're not even trying to argue that their cars are repairable anymore. He is blatantly saying they are unrepairable, and doing so would be a risk to your life. Imagine he made these comments back in 2005. The absurdity, it would be so much more obvious, but slowly, we're all becoming conditioned to this world of cars that we just can't repair. He's really just saying what we all know at this stage, which is ridiculous, atrocious, but then again, welcome to 2026. And what's interesting is notice that he draws a comparison with a 1970s Ford. Take another quick look.
No problem working on a 73 Bronco. But to work on a brand new Bronco, I need all sorts of specialty tools.
All sorts of specialty tools. Yes, we know, because you chose to make it that way, Jim. Okay, I mean, granted, modern emissions and driver aid systems, which are mandated by the government, they're complex. But no one's going to berate a manufacturer for complexity that they're forced to build into the cars. But that doesn't justify software blocks, the incessant need for every part to be coded in, dealership level software being needed for trivial jobs, subscription fees for diagnostic access, unrepairable components like their headlights, for instance. The list goes on. We could sit here and rhyme them off all night. So he's telling the truth when he says it needs all sorts of specialty tools. And when he claims working on your own car could kill you, again, he's telling the truth. But the point is, that's nothing new. We've had people for the past 100 years work on their own brake systems. We don't have an epidemic of failing brakes on our roads, wiping people out. We've had people doing DIY on their own engines. We don't have an engine explosion pandemic happening. The point is, working on a car has always carried a risk. The difference now is that risk is being used to justify the gatekeeping. You could argue hybrids and electric cars pose more risk due to high voltage, but this particular car that Mr. Ford's referring to here, a Bronco, is neither of those. It's just a plain old petrol engine. I think the far more real fatality risk here if people continue to work on their own cars, is Ford's bottom line. In the UK alone, repair work represents a larger profit margin than car sales themselves. It's worth millions of pounds to their dealer network. So which do you think the big conglomerate is more concerned over? Your safety or their profits? Let me leave you with this. One last clip, because surely if we're all being locked out of repairing our own cars, independent mechanics are getting a harder and harder time to work on our cars, then surely Ford are making the provisions. Surely Ford are treating their technicians like royalty, both here and in the US, keeping plenty of availability to pull in all this extra business. I'll see you in a few days' time.
This morning when I woke up, there were 6,000 bays in our dealerships with no technician.
So can't get my car fixed?
Nope. 2 weeks. Average wait is 2 weeks. Not because we don't have the parts, we don't have the mechanics.